London Comic Con 2022 revealed the first G.I. Joe Classified Series figure from the Pursuit of Cobra line, so let's delve into what figures could be coming down the line in the future. And before we dive into the episode, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can be alerted to the latest reviews, news, and episodes when they drop. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael, and with me is my collector in crime, Larry. Now, back in late October, the Joe team added to their growing list of name-only reveals. We had our first reveal from the Pursuit of Cobra line with Shadow Tracker, which is probably one of the most interesting figures in the POC line, and this could be the start of a nice line of figures to draw for the G.I. Joe Classified series.
Yeah, I think this is a cool one for several reasons. I think it's cool to be kind of adding that as a figure pool that they're pulling from. But I think for me that the Shadow Tracker figure is cool because it's so different.
Yeah.
But it's the legs always felt too long to me. Like he seems out of proportion. And so I think it'll be cool to see a classified figure done in where the scale looks awesome for the figure, and then you can just appreciate kind of the design and that kind of thing, you know?
That'd be neat. Yeah, it would actually be fun to see this figure actually with like soft goods hair or something like that. That'd be
Oh
fun.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So to me, there's a lot of different things they could do. This is going to be a cool release.
Yeah, and this whole Pursuit of Cobra line is actually really neat. Just kind of going back and looking at the figures, it's just kind of drawing inspiration from that. We're here to run down our favorite figures from the POC line that we would love to see in the classified series. So first up is one of my personal favorites I would love to see, and it is Blowtorch. And I love the design. It's kind of like very vintage, very updated, and I could totally see this as a classified series
Yeah,
figure.
yeah, me too. This is one we've talked about several times. We've hit on this figure in a lot of our wish lists and speculation videos. And man, I really hope they do him soon because he was always one of my favorites also. And I think the coloring and the accessories, just the whole package
Yeah.
is awesome, and he would make for a really cool classified release.
Oh, he would, and even the addition of the Lego armor, from the vintage figure, and yeah, I feel like figures like this from the Pursuit of Cobra line and also the GI Joe 25th anniversary, like 3 3/4 inch figures, I feel like they're a good blueprint for what we actually see in the classified series.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did a good job on a lot of those releases to stay true to the kind of the vintage design, but also bring them forward as far as articulation a little bit and just kind of style and look a little bit too. So I think that it is a good blend, and then they're definitely a good example of kind of what a classified release might end up looking like.
Yeah, and I guess in addition to the actual figure design, a lot of these figures from later lines have really nice packouts. So it's like including an axe and a cool mask that's actually a different color than the helmet, and like that tube coming out of his shoulder is really neat.
Yeah, yeah, and thinking about kind of the way those pieces might look, I think just seeing that axe as far as a classified piece, I think that'd be cool. I'm sure they'll have some way to attach it to the
Oh
backpack
yeah.
or something with it there. And then yeah, that hose and just all the different things. I think those are going to look really cool. Kind of in the classified scale and just the level of detail they put into them.
Yes. All right. And next up, we have a very interesting looking Cobra Viper figure.
Yeah, I think this is to me one of the more unique designs. I mean, he's got to me like the helmet kind of reminds me of that the battle armor Cobra Commander,
Oh yeah.
and so it's got that kind of feel to it. And again with this figure, same with the Shadow Tracker, the legs and the arms feel kind of too slender and a little bit too long or something. So I'm again looking forward to how this would look on a classified figure scale.
Yeah, this kind of looks like, yeah, it's like a cross between like Battle Armor Cobra Commander and like an Eels figure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a really cool look. I think the coloring is awesome. It's weird because like would you want this to be like in the same like red as like the
Yes,
Crimson Guard
I was
figures.
just thinking that. I think so. Yeah, because I think with yeah with the Crimson Bat coming out, and then there's two flavors of Crimson Guard. I think this would be a really cool like Crimson Red design to go with.
Yeah, I mean, I just to me, I don't think this was ever meant to be like a part of like the Crimson Guard or anything like that, but I think that would be kind of a cool way to tie it in. You've got kind of the same color. I really don't for my shelf. I don't think I would want like a little bit of a difference in red,
No,
just because then it looks weird. So I would almost rather just stick with that same red and let me be consistent across my toy shelf, and I think it would look awesome.
yeah, it's kind of cool just like looking at the like the back design. The backpack looks like it's more of I don't know if it's like a parachute or
Yeah.
like some sort of breathing apparatus that's like hooking into the shoulders that maybe goes into the helmet. I have no idea, but it looks cool.
Yeah, it does. I've always envisioned that as a parachute, but it
Yeah.
could be completely wrong, you know. But it does have that feel, and I guess kind of the slender kind of body style has that look of like like a jumpsuit or something that's like I don't know. That's kind of the
Yeah.
feel I get from it too.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of like an airborne viper, right?
yeah,
That'd be
yep.
neat. All right. Next up, we have a Joe coming on the list, and this is Steel Brigade. And I love the vintage figure, and I think they did a really good job with the design on this, especially making the helmet removable.
Yeah, this was one to me that this is like it's almost like a classified figure that was made back then.
Yeah.
You know, because of like the pack out and kind of the way they handled the kind of all the torso
Oh
detail and
yeah.
all the accessories and things. It has that kind of classified feel to it. And I think he'll be an awesome release.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think they did a great job with the armor and also the removable missiles kind of nesting in the backpack.
Yeah.
That's totally GI Joe classified series.
Yeah, to me this was it's like here's what you need to do for classified. Just do the same thing.
Yeah, and I love that he just has just plain like kind of khaki pants on
Yeah.
with some knee armor. It's like you gotta protect those khaki pants from getting holes in them.
Yeah, I think that that's cool. I mean, because it's like the kind of his jacket or his shirt. It's almost like a turtleneck sweater, isn't it?
Yeah,
With like a vest over the top of it. But I think kind of that icy blue looks cool with the khaki just because it's a different color scheme than a lot of the other figures. So I think this will look good on the shelf too.
yeah. I wonder if you could like maybe take off the armor and just kind of make him like business casual Steel Brigade, right?
Yeah, or Christmas party Steel Brigade or something.
Right.
I mean, he's under the red and green, but he does have the Christmas sweater kind of thing going on. So
Yeah, that's funny. That would actually go along with Hasbro's like holiday Star Wars themed Black Series figures. Like they need to start making those for Joe's, right?
that would be awesome. Actually, they could do him in an ugly Christmas
Oh,
sweater
that'd be
because he's
awesome.
already got the turtleneck thing going. So I mean, oh, you got like 2 weeks left, Hasbro. Come on,
Yeah,
knock it
so many possibilities, right?
out.
All right, and next up is one of the cooler and most interesting figures in the line, and this is Skydive version 2. So he was released in the second wave of figures for the Pursuit of Cobra line in 2011.
Yeah, and to me, this is another one that is kind of almost like built out like a classified figure already. To just kind of the accessories, just all the different like pockets and hoses and all the stuff. This looks like it could be just a blueprint for the classified version. So I think I'd like to see it come out basically just like this.
Yeah, there's so much on this figure. I think if you take off the backpack, you can, maybe or the jetpack, you can maybe get a sense of like the actual buck of the figure because
Yeah.
there's so much layered on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of tough to actually see like what does the figure look like because yeah, you do have all those things sticking out to the side and stuff like that. So it would be cool to see, what does the figure look like just by itself without that backpack. And also, would that just be a standard release or would he need some kind of almost like a deluxe treatment? Kind of like the releases with the motorcycles, you
Oh
know?
yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think with a jetpack like that in classified series scale, yeah, you'd totally need a bigger box. And it's funny, I just noticed some of the like detachable jet ports and things that you can do with
Yeah.
them. So there's a lot you can do with this figure.
Oh yeah. And I think we haven't really seen kind of a lot as far as like detachable hoses and stuff so far. And I feel like that's such a huge part of a lot of the figures from especially the vintage line are those those removable hoses on like the Techno Viper,
Yeah.
and just a lot of different figures had those, so many of them. And so I kind of want to see them start doing some of those things so we can see what we're going to get out of those.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I would love to see this made. I mean, just all the layers and just it just looks kind of like Shadow Tracker. It just looks so different.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I think the color scheme is cool. And I also, it feels like you could do this in classified and be able to have that helmet be removable just over the top of a standard head,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. All right. Next up is a figure that is more of a plain looking figure, and this is Duke from the line. And I included this one because they could totally make this into a Night Force figure. That's the only reason why I included this one. Like, please make Night
Yeah, I
Force
mean,
figures.
we've talked about before how awesome it'd be to go ahead and delve into the Night Force line, and yeah, I think this would be a cool first release. For me, I haven't been super impressed with any Duke figure so
Yeah.
far. The Tiger Force is probably my favorite out of the three releases. But I think this would quickly climb to the top because I think this would be awesome as far as a classified look for him.
Yeah, I think the classified series Duke needs an updated head sculpt and, adding a
Yeah.
bandana and just some of the like he wasn't even a Night Force figure to begin with. So I think it'd be interesting just to see what they could do with it and, it would kind of go along with some of the other figures that they're making for the line, turning them into Night Force figures too.
I mean, you could do a Night Force Snake Eyes.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez. Isn't he already Night Force? He's a black outfit.
well, hey, then they just, I mean, I guess you
It's,
just release it like it is
it's
then, and it's
slap a
just
logo on it and call it good. Oh, geez, Hasbro just
we want royalties on that idea,
yeah,
Hasbro. That's
totally.
that's all us right there. If you make that figure, we're gonna have to have a cut.
You heard it here first. All right, next up is the Jungle Bat, which is a very cool redeco of the Battle Android Trooper.
Yeah, yeah. To me, this is one of the. It's to me the different bat releases that we got, like this and the Arctic one. They're weird, but they work. Like I think this is It's a cool look for the bat. I think any figure, any bat design they come up with, I would probably be good with,
Yeah.
as long as they keep that same body.
Hmm.
Because that's what I didn't like about some of the later bat releases in the vintage line,
Oh
was
yeah,
that they kind of screwed with the look of him. Keep that same body style. Don't jack with the kind of the head and all the stuff, because you could do a lot of different things with it.
yeah. No, I like that they're actually like layered on like a bandolier to the bat, so it's kind of giving it a different look than your normal typical repainted bat. Plus the attachments look really cool. I love the way that they designed the blowtorch. It's actually like it makes it look real because it's like you have that acetylene arm
Yeah.
to it with the
Yep.
flame. It's neat.
Yeah, it is. So my only gripe again here is that in that picture on the left, it looks like he has two heads, and one of them is the torch, and the other one is the head.
Oh, how funny.
So it's yeah, I have to look at the other ones because I
Yeah.
can't appreciate the figure for what it is, because that always distracts me. So
Yeah, the camo deco looks neat, so it's kind of like, we could maybe see this going along with some of the Cobra Island releases if they ever do those again, right?
yeah, I think so. I mean, to me, this has kind of a, like, if you did hit and run with
Oh,
this kind of camo,
yeah,
I think that would be a cool way to handle kind of his look. So I think you probably wouldn't want them exactly the same, of course, but I think this would be a cool look for the hit and run figure too.
totally. All right, next up is the Iron Grenadier, and this is a very different version of the Iron Grenadier, but still looks, kind of tried and true to the vintage line, just with a whole heck of a lot more armor and armaments.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I would want to see this in place of the kind of the standard Iron Grenadier
Yeah.
look. I almost want to see them both. Like, I just think that this is a cool enough kind of look for the Iron Grenadier that it warrants its own release. I think they have that, just a very thick look, very armored. And I think they came out really cool. So
Yeah, it's kind of like akin to what they did with the first release of Firefly in
yeah.
the Cobra Island series. So like he was very armored, because he's setting off stuff. You don't want to, kind of kill yourself at the same time. So yeah, I could totally see, them armoring him up. What do you think about like the paint scheme on this one? Would you like to see him like black or something like this?
I think if they did it in black, you almost might be able to pull off both looks within the same figure.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of do just the black suit and then kind of have that armor piece like you're talking with Firefly, and maybe you could kind of get both versions out of it. You pull all that stuff off and you kind of have your standard Grenadier look. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe do you need two head sculpts?
Yeah, I
You
was
know,
I
to
was
be able to
thinking
make
like
them
that.
unique.
Yeah, either two head sculpts, or I was thinking like this would be a perfect figure to make like that top piece of that helmet come off and like a face mask, and like you reveal like who the heck an Iron Grenadier actually is under there.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a Darth Vader's mask, like comes off in two pieces, but hopefully they're more human than machine.
Well, I mean, who knows?
But oh, interesting. I just noticed that like the knee armor and the leg armor is detachable. So that's another cool thing.
Yeah, and I would kind of like to see a little bit of a redesign there because those feel like hockey
Yeah.
goalie uh gear to me. So I would maybe like to see a little bit of a change there
Yeah.
to make it more, look more like actual like kind of military armor kind of thing or
Yeah. I mean,
futuristic armor.
they what do they do in their spare time, right? They got to do something. Maybe he's the resident hockey goalie for the Cobra Hockey League. Who knows?
Yeah, and maybe this is kind of like the Cobra version of Bazooka, right?
Right.
Bazooka's got his football jersey on. These dudes have their hockey goalie equipment still partially on, and this is just their sport.
I love it. All right, and last but not least is a very interesting dreadnought, and this is Storm Rider and the Doom Cycle. And we threw this in here because one, we need more dreadnoughts in the line, and this Doom Cycle is just freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you throw the freaking Doom Cycle in there and just give us any dreadnought.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like this is not the most interesting dreadnought, but he came paired with the Doom Cycle. He's got the dreadnought logo on his shirt and some tattoos, and he's actually one of the more well-dressed dreadnoughts in the line.
yeah, he is. I think he'd be cool to see down the road. I mean, I wouldn't want to see him next, but
No.
but if you told me that after we got kind of the core group, they're gonna make this guy, I think he would be awesome for classified.
Oh, totally. Coming in 2025 with the, list of name only reveals that are now like 60 figures long, going through 2030. So maybe he'll be in the 2025 slot.
Yeah, yeah, that could be.
But yeah, no, like they should totally make something other than the Ram cycle. And I shudder to think that we'll probably get another repaint of the Ram cycle because there was one in the vintage line for the Dreadnoks. It was kind of like that orange and green one that came out in like a Sears exclusive in '86 or something. But like something like this would be amazing because like you could see like Zorana on here or any figure would be pretty cool looking sitting on this motorcycle. Or is it a motor trike?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like to me, I feel like they could probably do some like resculpting on the current kind of
Yeah.
cycle and make it unique enough to re-release it. I just feel like they're just not doing enough with it to make it cool that we're keep getting the same thing.
Yes, I agree. All right, so here are our picks for the G.I. Joe Classified series that would be an amazing addition to the line from the Pursuit of Cobra subline.
Yeah, to me, I mean, this is it's a cool lineup. You got a lot of variety there. You get some army builders, you get some Joes, you get some Cobras. I think it's a good mix. Let's see them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like I was not going to army build some of these GI Joe Classified series figures, but when the Python Patrol bats and Vipers came out, I was like I really like the paint deco and like these figures, they look so different and their colors are different. The armor looks cool. It's like it'd be really neat to see all of these figures. Not, yeah, I think like you were saying, not yet, but maybe down the line.
Yeah, yeah. There's some things here that I would want to kind of hold off, because I think that there are other figures in need of release before
Yeah,
these.
like Duke.
But I wouldn't be disappointed with a lot of these.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can probably wait on like maybe Duke and probably I don't know. I would really I really want Blowtorch. So
Yeah, yeah, I do too. To me, push the Jungle Bat back.
yeah,
He doesn't, I mean, we've seen enough, three different versions of the bat for now
that's
is
true.
cool. So I'd be fine if that one got pushed back as cool as the figure is. But yeah, some of these would be cool in upcoming waves. So
Totally. All right. Well, let us know what you think of our figure selections in the comments below. Do you have a favorite figure from the Pursuit of Cobra line you'd love to see? I'm Michael,
and I'm Larry.
and thanks for tuning into Toy Habits.